this is why the phrase "be careful what you wish for" exists, because we wanted this to be a walk in the park for Canada here tonight. But again, lack of urgency in the match. Either way, Canada walks away with a perfect record in the group stages. We welcome you back inside our One Soccer studio. Matchday Live presented by CIBC. Andy, Jordan, and Jess with you. The violin, as opposed to the merengue, is kind of what we called it at halftime. But either way, job done by the Canadians.
Job done. I guess the silver lining, look at it. Half glass full, it would be 13 goals for, 0 against. I mean, this is opposition you said in the beginning of the tournament that they should cruise past, but you still got to go and do it. There's been a time where Canada played Costa Rica and only won 2-0. This was 3-0 convincing, but you also slapped El Salvador, you slapped Uruguay. Like, these are teams that you have to go and win and dominate, and they have done that, Jess.
Yeah, and you know what, Andy, you said it. We were spoiled the last 2 games. Maybe that's why we were looking for more. We were looking for more excitement. We were so used to seeing Canada really light up those flanks and, you know, score these really exciting goals. But again, 3 goals today, nice goals at that. So can't really complain, but I definitely thought the energy was a little low.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I mean, they're humans. As much as we want them to be like robots and go 100 all the time, we know that Bev Priestman also approached this game with the knockout stage in mind. Chloe Lacasse getting the rest. You know, Adriana Leon coming off at half as well. There were other players that would typically have probably been in that starting 11 that weren't, because she just wanted to conserve them. I mean, it was just flat out acknowledgement of that. So what do you make of even just her game management, like the starting 11 management, and then game management as it went along?
Yeah, I understand it. If you're Bev Priestman, right, you gotta take care of your team and rest the players that you know you're gonna need down the stretch. And then I'm just brought back to, I hate making this about me, but I remember times where if you're starting and you're looking on the bench, just that role reversal. You're not used to seeing certain people start and play certain minutes, and then you're on the bench and you're kind of cheering them on. It does a little bit for a team, right? Usually there are certain staples or certain people that you look at for warm-ups, whatever it might be, that really get the team going. But when there are new faces, it's kind of like, well, who is that person to do that? I thought Simeo Ujo tonight was fantastic in terms of the energy that you bring into the midfield. There are other players that had a good performance, but you kind of have to rely on your, I hate saying it, but like your B team, your B squad people to step up, because this was a nothing game.
Yeah.
So it's hard to keep the team pushing, moving forward. I guess Bev Priestman could be happy with the 3-0, but in terms of a game that I wouldn't want to watch again, it was probably this one.
Well, and here's the thing, right? Like, we also sometimes can be a little contradicting, right? Because we as media, if it had gone the other way, exactly. And that's right, I'm pointing the finger at myself, I'd be like, what are they doing? Don't get injured. Don't go slide tackling. Yeah. What are you doing, right? So they kept it. It was calm, cool, collected, but they still managed to score 3 goals. Let's begin with Jordan Huitema, who gets to start in that number 9 position. Some good build up to this one. And, you know, she's just perfectly placed as well and gets the header on it.
Yeah, this is a really nice play. This is a team goal. Obviously, this didn't go their way here with Fleming's turn, but they were able to get that back and play it. They were simple here. They took their time, finding Carl on the wing there. She did really well here, didn't force it back to Carl here. And then Laracy did a really good job to be able to pull out here. Carl found her simple pass. Laracy with the easy pass, and then Fleming doing what she does best with the cheeky little flick, and Jordan Huitema being able to get on the end of that. That was really a really good run by Jordan Huitema as well. You saw that she had the tenacity to get on the end of that. So this was overall a really nice team goal.
I love Jordan Huitema's movement, right? I think even when Gabby Carl had the ball, she was asking for it. Yeah. This is what you want to see more of Jordan Huitema. Andy, you mentioned her stature. She's a bit tall, but she's great in the air, great with headers. It's just like not being just in the box.
Yeah.
Anticipating, telling your players like, hey, you want the cross. If Canada's going to be a crossing team, you need big bodies, you need presence to get in the area to put the ball in the back of the net. And if she could do that movement more often, there are more goals to come.
Shalina Zadorsky picks up a couple goals in this one. She gets the brace. She is our Gatorade performance of the match. So nice to see her get on the board. Her first goal coming by way of a header as well, this time off a set piece.
I would personally love to ask Shalina, when was the last time you bagged the brace? Because defenders, center backs at that, they don't come with 2 goals in a game. I'm super proud of her.
I think it would have been, I think Jenkins said Pan Am games, was that like 2015 or something?
Man,
yeah.
Like even that, for that to be a stat as well. The 2 headers, brilliant. This second one I love. Olivia Smith whips in that ball. Zadorsky had to do a bit more on that just to guide that one in. But those are two great headers. Center backs getting a brace. You'd love to see it.
Yeah, and shout out to the service. The delivery was great from both Leon and Smith. It's not easy to whip that ball in, and basically they picked her out. That was right on a silver platter for her, and she did a really good job to redirect them.
And I always like to give a shout out to a person who once again has been battling to preserve their spot in a lineup as well. Even Bev Priestman had said other players were kind of stepping on in. It wasn't even just a matter of Shalina being bad. It was just all these other players that were kind of challenging Bev to give them playing time. Shalina herself was dealing with some illness. She was trying to figure out how to get her body, back on track again. So you have to give credit to a player and their constant perseverance to once again get back on their game. And boy, did she ever show it here tonight. Here's Shalina Zadorsky.
Okay, here we are with Shalina Zadorsky, 2 goals tonight. Can you talk about your performance and the team performance tonight?
Yeah, I think, it wasn't perfect today, but at the end of the day, it's a clean sheet. It's another win. And taking this momentum forward is big for us. So, yeah, it's just good that we scored so many goals and we kept clean sheets. That's the main thing.
Costa Rica was where you were expecting before the game?
Yeah, I think they've got technical players and players who want to get on the ball, and I think you saw that in the second half. So we need to drive our standards to make sure, we deal with those players better. But yeah, they're a good side. They've got technicians in their team, and today, I'm proud of the team for keeping a clean sheet.
After the group stage, you have the best differential points, the most points. That was important for you before the tournament?
Yeah, I think that was important for us to go into each game to win it, and we wanted to come out on top. So credit to the whole group, because everyone's played minutes and put in a shift to get us there. So now it's group stage done, and we can move forward with that momentum.
Congratulations and good luck in the next round.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, they topped the group, and we'll get not just the group, but they also topped the 8 teams that will be moving on. We'll get to that in just a moment. But first, let's bring you the All-State save of the match, 73rd minute. Solero here for Costa Rica, having to make a save off substitute Julia Grosso, who comes into this game. And pretty much it was Canada the entire time, really, in this game. So we've seen some other saves, but this is the one that makes the All-State.
Yeah, and Julia Grosso always just creating that space. That's a great turn. But that comes at Solero really quick, and I love that turn from Grosso. But as she shoots it, doesn't really have much time, but redirects it, gets it over the bar. Phenomenal save.
Yeah, once again, Julia Grosso having a great time with Juventus. We did hear from Bev that maybe just for precautionary reasons, she hasn't been playing a lot. We'll see if that changes as they head out into the knockout stage as we bring you the full-time stats brought to you by Toyota. We were wondering if Kaylin Sheridan's clean sheet record was going to get stopped there for a moment. There was a shot on target by Costa Rica, but Kaylin Sheridan, who was not very busy at all tonight, does manage to make that save. So when we come back, we are going to look ahead who the possible opponent could be for Canada. You said you didn't really like to watch this game over again? I have some news for you.
What's up?
It could be Costa Rica in the quarterfinals. Could be. Let's pontificate on who Canada could meet next. Stay with us here on Matchday Live. Here, a look at the standings. Canada has topped the 8 teams that will be moving on to the quarterfinals. One more game to go. That's actually in Group C with Canada. It's Paraguay, El Salvador. And that does matter. That game does matter because here's the thing. I hate doing this because this confuses me and I'm about to confuse everybody at home. But if Paraguay win or draw, they will have a pretty good record. And then Costa Rica and Puerto Rico, they will have to have lots be drawn to see who goes through because they are identical in their record. Win, draws, losses, goals conceded, yellow cards, you name it. So if Paraguay win or draw in their game against El Salvador, lots will have to be drawn to decide if Costa Rica or Puerto Rico are the teams that go through as that 8th seed because Paraguay will go through as the 7th seed. Lots drawn. Could you imagine? But either way, Canada will face either Costa Rica or Puerto Rico as that 8th seed. Do you have a preference on who they face?
Before I answer that, I just want to give you and clap because that is too much math and numbers that I could never do that, Andy Petrillo. I would say for me, thinking about childhood and playing a team twice in a tournament, Jess, I'm going with Puerto Rico. Also, they're ranked 103rd. I would love to get another test for Canada and a team that maybe you should beat in a quarterfinal and beat them, as opposed to playing a Costa Rica that have already played you, could park the bus, could play you a bit different. I just wouldn't want to see that matchup again, but I think either way, Canada should still be good.
Yeah, I agree. If they play Costa Rica again, you don't know what kind of team they're going to play against. You never get the same team twice. I've played against teams the first time you smack them, the second time they come back and surprise you and they end up winning. So I definitely am going Puerto Rico on this one. I would like to see a new matchup, a new challenge. Although they are ranked 103rd, there's something on the line, so you never know what you're going to get. Sometimes the underdog surprises you.
Well, I think this is the thing. Now that you're heading into the knockout stage, anything can happen. Although the Canadians have proven that they are the top team, it should be. Never mind, I'm not going to say the word. I don't want to jinx anything. But this is a team that should be moving on to the semifinals. This is where things probably start to get really tough now as we look ahead, because it seems like between this tournament, the Gold Cup, the She Believes Cup, they could face the Americans twice here before the Olympics. And even though the Americans haven't looked that strong, Mexico did beat them. I guess that would also be my question. If ever there was a time, if ever there was a year for Canada to beat the Americans, is this it?
It's now. Undoubtedly, it is now.
Having said this, I know that they've beaten them. They beat them in the semifinals in the Olympics on the way to gold. But either way, the Americans always bounce back and find a way to beat Canada, right? So is this it?
This has to be the moment. And also, too, we talk about the Olympics. I think it's great that the players, 2020, you get a gold. But it's been a while. Like, to lift something and to go into She Believes into Olympics knowing that you've won something, that just unites a group. I think this is time. I think also, too, Canada have played great performances. Yes, you could say it's against lesser competition, but you still kept a clean sheet. You've had good moments. There's a feel-good story, and that's what I've asked for since the beginning of this tournament, just to have a feel-good story. They're 3 games away from doing it. If they take it step by step, they should be champions of this tournament.
And if there's one thing, at least I'm getting from the Canadians, and even talking to Bev Priestman, it's about that consistency, right? It's not like, oh, let's beat the Americans for the first time in 20 years at the Olympics, but then lose the next few times that we end up facing them. It's consistently going in, knowing that you're going to be a challenge for not just USA, but Brazil. These are other teams that Bev highlighted. She highlighted Brazil. She highlighted Colombia. She obviously never wants to count out Mexico. It's just winning consistently.
Yeah, and I've been preaching consistency this entire time because I really think that's the biggest thing for them that they've struggled with. It's easy to be consistent against opponents that are looked at as lesser, but I think they typically don't play up when they are playing those better opponents. Although they're going there and they're giving it their all, they come off short. So I think it would be nice to see them go into a big competition, go into a game against the U.S. and come out on top and be like, you know what? I didn't just scrape one by. I was able to be consistent from minute 1 to 90, and I deserve this win. I would really love to watch that game and say Canada deserved that. They were absolutely the better team. Not, oh, Canada got a PK to win it, or Canada just scraped by. So that's what I'm looking for. I would really love to see them lift that cup and just, really earn it.
All right, so if you're Bev Priestman, who are some of the players that you're relying on as you look ahead?
Ooh, I think a coach always relies on the spine, right? You gotta think about Vanessa Gilles. You think about that back 3, what that looks like. It's nice because it's kind of like a back 4. And what I mean by that is Zadorsky, can come in and do a shift and play well if you need it. And I think Bev also likes, and it's nice seeing a left-footed player playing on the left side, just the passes and the angles, the way things look. Jessie Fleming, for me, I'm still going with Quinn. To partner in that midfield. I think that spine is really there. And then the front 3, you got to play Leon. I mean, Heidema did well as well playing on that wing spot. It's really just down the middle, Andy. I'm not sure who you would start with. Deanne Rose, you're seeing her come off the bench. I know she's healthy, but if she's healthy, she'd probably be playing. But this is still a great Canadian side. I think they have enough to go out and really win something.
I will say one player you forgot to mention is Lacasse. I think Lacasse is going to be...
I forgot Lacasse.
Yeah, see, I was going to interrupt you. I was going to pull what you pulled on me.
Should have. I've been getting teased all day. I get one little finger, and all of a sudden I was getting this all day from both these beautiful ladies. Oh, jeez.
I'm not finished.
Yeah.
No, but I think Lacasse is going to be a massive part of their success in this tournament and going forward in general. I would like to see her back on that outside mid position because I think that's where she's been thriving in this tournament. We'll see her get on the ball. And I think, as great as Gabby Carl did today, I wouldn't say that she necessarily has earned that position as of yet. I still think Lacasse has done a better job when she got the time there. So, yeah, Lacasse is definitely somebody for me that I'm looking forward to seeing.
And I gotta say, like I'm bad at saying this, the ace up the sleeve, the ace in the hole, which one is it? All I want to say is Olivia Smith, do not come to me for sayings. Wow, that's embarrassing. Olivia Smith, wild card is still the
you got there.
I got it.
Wild card, baby.
I still think the youngin, Olivia Smith, is a nice wild card too right now that Bev Priestman can play. I knew I would get there eventually. I just took the long way. Didn't use my ways. That's what happened. Canada, 3-0 victorious over Costa Rica here tonight. They will advance to the quarterfinals on Saturday. Just by the end of the night, we will know their opponent. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time, Canada.